as a producer, also often like maybe a bit of a psychologist of a band you're working with, or you at least get to know the profile of the band. Would you say, are you able to maybe describe a profile for a band like Anthrax from producer point of view, if you could? Or is it really hard for you because you're also in the band?
That's a loaded question.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you know, working with different bands, I learned a lot of stuff. You know, every band has their own dynamic and their own way of doing things, and one thing I definitely learned is that every band is dysfunctional in different ways and on different levels. And it's just a matter of kind of working around all that stuff and just, you know, bringing it all together.
Is it good maybe for a band to know that where it's dysfunctional?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think the longer a band is together, the more, you know, weird stuff there might be. You know, and I think with a band like Anthrax, you know, for one, everyone lives in different states, you know, in America. So we're not all living on the same street, and you know, it's not like that. I guess it started out like that, I guess, but so there's that element of it. You know, sometimes the communication, you know, it's just stuff like that.
But
you know?
Is that maybe also a secret to, if you can deal with your dysfunctional parts, that maybe that's a secret for a successful band? Could you say that? Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Anthrax has always been a band that made it work, and the band's been through a lot of stuff. You know, a lot of highs, definitely a lot of lows as well. You know.
What's the current? Would you say you're on a high?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and because you reached, I think, with the last record from 2011, you reached the 100,000 sales mark, which is, I think, these day and age quite unique, especially.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely something I know we're all very proud of. You know, we worked really hard on the album, and a lot of energy and passion went into it. The music business is it's in a strange place right now because you know, record sales are in a weird place just because that's the way of the world right now, you know, with the internet and all that stuff. But touring has been awesome. You know, it's been great.
Do you sell a lot of records while on tour? Is that where you sell the most of it?
No, that's definitely not where we sell the most of it. We're not even selling our record on this tour.
Okay.
For whatever reason. But yeah, I mean, we usually do, you know, at the merch stand. You know, it's just weird. I live in New York City, and I don't even know where to buy records. You know, I used to love going to Tower Records or, you know, Sam Goody or, you know, any of the record stores years ago, and I would go in there and just spend hours, you know, just looking at stuff. And
is that element gone for do you think in the modern maybe music scene?
It's definitely gone. I mean, I don't even know where to go. I mean, I live in one of the best cities in the world, and I don't know where to go to buy CDs. I mean, there's some mom and pop stores that are still left, but yeah, I think for the most part that's a thing of the past. Hopefully it comes back, you know, in some way.
Do you think as a band you have an influence on that, or maybe in some way?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I think that, you know, the music business is changing, you know, and I think it's just morphing into a new thing. You know, I think the model is going to be a little different. It's gradually turning into something else. No one really knows, I guess, what it's going to be. But you know, music is one of those things that keeps the world moving. So
yeah, that's true.
It's a really important.
It has been some time since there was a gap between. But do you think you will, from this latest record on, maybe start to get in a more regular pace with releasing new albums in the near future?
With Anthrax, you mean? Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to say. You know, it's so hard to put a time frame and a date on when albums will be released and all that stuff. There's so many different factors.
But what if you look from the band now? What's the vibe that's going on? Is there a creative vibe at the moment?
I think everything we're in touring mode right now. You know, we've been working really hard and playing all over the place, and it's been very, you know, it's been pretty hectic.
So you have to get into rest mode before you can say anything about that.
Yeah, I don't think, there hasn't been any new material written yet, so it's just hard to say. I know obviously everyone wants to get back in as soon as possible,
Then we'll have to wait for that. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, man.